Hello everybody, it's Extinction 24 and welcome back to the channel. I'd like to thank you guys first off for reaching 156 subscribers, and also thank you so much for giving us positive feedback on our first Extinction mode review. And in return for that, I am bringing you a more in-depth breakdown of how Extinction mode actually works. You ask, how do I know? Well, if you remember back in my last episode, we had DB Zen with us. Well, he actually got the game about, I would say, 3 to 4 days early. He's been playing it the last couple days. He's already beat the campaign, and he's now got Extinction mode unlocked. And he's going to be breaking it down for you guys on how it works. So if you do not want to hear any spoilers, please tune away from this video, for this is a very in-depth review of how Extinction mode is actually going to work. And then he's going to give a re-analysis on his rating he gave originally on the preview for the trailer. And then I'll give my viewpoints on what I think, because I'm still going to be learning new stuff that he's going to be telling me. So again, guys, spoiler alert, if you do not want to know how it works and how that's going to all break down, please tune away. So let's get started. Let's first welcome in our buddy DB Zen. Deathbringer Zen is from the community forums. He does custom zombies and everything. He's part of my custom zombies crew. We do videos and all that. So I'm going to let the floor down to him, and he's going to break it down as best as he can for you guys to understand. So first off, first impressions, how do you think your viewpoint changed on when you went and actually played it? Not story-wise,
Well,
just as soon as Extinction loaded up, how were you excited? Were you just waiting to
well,
tear it apart? How was that going to be?
obviously I was pretty much excited to get to play the game mode. It wasn't unlocked straight from the off, so you did have to play through some of the campaign. Didn't have to play through all of it though. It was maybe only 4 missions, and then the game mode unlocked. It comes up with a message saying Extinction mode is now unlocked. So pretty much instantly just jumped straight on to Extinction after that. And first impressions were not positive at the very beginning, only because it didn't feel very much like zombies. So I was going in with a kind of like negative attitude straight away. But I mean, as Extinction starts up, it starts up 2 weeks after the Odin crash. Now, for anyone who doesn't know what Odin is, I don't want to spoil it for you, but you need to play the campaign to understand what this is. Extinction game mode explains, the campaign explains what Odin is and, the events of Odin. The Extinction mode takes place 2 weeks after the Odin crash, but is pretty much set in an um, alternative reality to the events of Odin, because it's certainly not how the campaign plays out. The campaign doesn't end where where Extinction starts. So it's its own separate entity based around events from the campaign. But anyway, as you start on the Extinction game mode, you start off, helicopter drops you off, you and however many players are in your group, it's 1 to 4 player. You start off at the helicopter, you're told, you've been given a drill. It's like a piece of equipment. It looks like a generator.
So that's
You're
what that
told,
drill is that we see in the photos all the time,
yeah,
actually.
it looks like a big square generator, but when it's deployed in front of a hive, it comes up, brings
He's
up a
talking
big
about this
tube at the
generator
top,
here, guys.
and this is basically the drill. And each drill, or each drill deployment, and each hive takes longer as you go. So the first generator takes maybe 2 minutes real time, and you have to protect it for 2 minutes. And at the very beginning, you have just the one type of alien that comes at you. It's like a lion type alien. It's hard to explain. It's 4-legged beast. Lizard type, lion type beast. It's got an orange glow in the back. They come at you from 2 directions over the debris where the hive is and the drill is. So once you've taken these out, you can pick up the drill and you have to move to the next area. As you move up the hill, you're met with uh, what appears to be a motel, and there's a main hive in the car lot of the motel, and then you've got one behind the motel
So these
where the
hives, just to
sights.
be a little bit more precise for the viewers, the hives are, what are these hives? What are they for? Where are they from?
Well,
What are they? What
the
exactly are
hives
these
the
hives?
hives appear to be like a nest for the aliens. The
So they're basically
you,
trying to.
you do not
What are
see
we
it.
drilling there for? Do you know exactly what the point of drilling
Well,
from these
the
locations
idea
are?
is that there is meteorites that fall from the sky, and
Okay.
they bring down technically are supposed to bring down the the stuff that creates the hives. The hives create the enemies, but in game you never see any of, well, not so far, you never see any of the enemies actually spawn from the hives. But the hives are technically supposed to be like a nest for the hives to be created. So for example, one of the biggest questions is you have at no point have I met in this game an alien with a gun. So they're all unarmed aliens, pretty much creatures as opposed to intelligent beings. They're clearly intelligent, but they're not intelligent enough for intergalactic space travel. So the assumption is that the meteorites came down, create the hives, and the enemies spawn from the hives. But at no point in the game so far do you see any of the enemies actually spawn from the hives. They all they do is protect the hives. So, yeah. So once you leave the first area, you're met with a motel, and around the motel there is like sort of hilly area with like a what looks like an old sort of like um, it's like a lookout post, and then behind you can walk behind the motel, the side of it and stuff. There what appears to be like a garage, a petrol station. And so what you do is you enter this area after the first hive. You can wander about this whole area. It's quite massive, bigger than most zombie maps. And there's 5 hives, but they won't all be activated. It maybe only be 3 or 4 hives that you have to destroy out of the 5, and they randomly generate between each one. The one in central car park of the motel is always there, and it always has to be destroyed. So once you've cleared the first debris and you make your way up the hill, what you'll find is you'll find like gas cans lying around on the floor and weapons. So there's no wall weapons, but the weapons are lying up around the map, placed on the floor. These weapons randomly go between $1,000 to 1,500 to 2,000 on the first main area. So you can pick up whichever one you feel most comfortable with. You can swap them out at any time, but you always have just 2 weapons. You have your primary pistol, which can be a choice of 1 to 4 pistols depending on how you rank up. So right now I'm rank 25 and I have unlocked the fourth and final pistol that I can find so far on my selection. So it's an automatic pistol. You start off with a standard like M1911 and then it upgrades to like the gun that we use in custom zombies, the green light on the tip that's like semi-automatic. Then it goes from that to like a Magnum, to that to a fully automatic gun. So you can only have four
Okay.
weapons,
So
four
you earn
handgun
instead of
choices.
earning points, you earn currency
Currency,
to
yes,
purchase these
dollars.
weapons that you get to when you unlock certain areas. Now, these guns can be upgraded, or is it the further you progress through the areas, the better guns that are available to you? Like,
The
do you ever
the
have to
secondary
worry
weapons.
about not having a gun to handle that area?
Well, no, you never. I mean, you have your handgun. You can run out of ammo. Obviously, you have your handgun. Once your handgun's out of ammo, you cannot buy ammo for it.
Okay.
But you can deploy ammo. I mean, right. Before going into details on the map, I'll explain how the setup is. But before you start the game, you have 2 options. You have your class option, which is what you want to be, whether you want to be like a gunman or a medic or um, like there's 4 choices, and each choice changes what you are capable of doing in game as what type of player you are. So, I mean, you have a medic, you have like a gunman, you have like a repairman, like an engineer. That's like your 4 classes. So the 4 classes represent the fact that you have 4 characters to choose from. So you pick a class and you are that person. But you also have this feature where your D-pad on the controller comes into play. On the control pad, you have 4 choices, and each 4 choices can be changed in what is like a create a class menu. So, for example, the top one, what I have currently on that is an ammo reserve, and you can deploy normal ammo, but in the game, you basically are a one, like you're rated like level 1 for each of your classes, each of your 4 D-pad classes. So on the up D-pad, I have ammo deployment. On the right hand D-pad, I have what is like a tactical nuke. Like something you can bring down, like rain fire, to protect you and your team. On the bottom one, you have what is like a skill for each player. So at the moment on my bottom D-pad, I have like it's like speed cola, sleight of hand. You can throw a crate down with sleight of hand, and for level one, it's 15 seconds that the player who goes and takes this will have 15 seconds of speed cola. But in the game, as you do things, you get skill points, and you can go into your select menu and add skill points to each of your four classes. So they can go 1 to 4, and you can add like 3 additional skill points onto each one to bring them up to 4. If, for example, Speed Cola is 15 seconds and you add one, it goes up to 30 seconds. If you add to skill level 3, it's 45 seconds, and then eventually, if it's on skill level 4, it's 60 seconds worth of Speed Cola that your entire team gets. Each deployment costs a certain amount of money. So if you want to drop ammo, it's 1,000 points. If you want to drop um like fire ammo, fire damage ammo,
Yeah.
you can upgrade that to level 2. That becomes like it's still 1,000 points, but you've upgraded to level 2. You can eventually go all the way up to level 4, which is explosive ammo. Explosive ammo kills most of the aliens on impact.
Okay.
It's like by far the best one. Each skill that you rank up in game, when you start a new game, the skill points are all gone again, and you're back to level 1.
So
So,
ranking. So there is a ranking system. So,
but it's live.
would the ranking system more or less detail? Is there a way to decipher, like in Black Ops Zombies? Is there a way to decipher the good people from the bad people? Because like anybody can just kill zombies and earn skill
Yeah,
points. Is there a way to discreetly make a complex system like zombies where you have the shotguns dedicating that those are the
yeah.
best players
Well,
in the
in
game?
this one, it's all about ranking system. You rank up by level. So, like,
Okay.
I'm level 25 just now.
Now, is there
People
any type of cap limit, or is there like multiplayer you have prestige
Not as
levels?
far as I'm aware at the moment. Maybe 99, maybe the highest rank. It may go on higher, but the fundamental thing about this and the biggest difference over it to zombies is people who want to play as a lone wolf or want to go and do their own thing will die. There's no ifs or buts about it. You have to work as a team. There's no learning curve where once you get so good at the game, you don't have to rely on others. If you go away and you do your own thing and you do not stick with your team, you will die. And it doesn't matter how
So
good you
great
are.
teamwork would be very crucial. So
Well,
that's
it's not
that's
even
that's very
crucial.
good.
It's like
A
you
necessity.
cannot progress without teamwork. So
Okay.
you're forced into working as a team. But the thing about it is it's so frantic at times that it won't matter. You would rather be with your team than work alone. I mean, technically, it's it's possible to train the aliens like you can zombies. You can train them, but they move at such a speed that it is like either a permanent dog round or B, a permanent Nova crawler round. You can outrun them, but the minute you stop sprinting, they will catch up with you. Or the minute you turn around to shoot on them, they'll be right in your face.
Okay.
So technically, you can outrun them for as long as you want, run around the whole map without really getting hurt. But the minute you try to turn and shoot on them, they will be there, right there. And so it's like it's best to not run about and train, and best to stick together as a team because that's just the way it works out best. So, I mean, it shares a lot of aspects to zombies, but it's taking the selfish side away completely. You cannot be a selfish player. I mean, so far since I've played public lobbies, because it's all I can do because none of my friends have the game yet, um, people have rage quitted left, right, and center. It shares the same annoyances as zombies, where people will quit, people will not talk on mic, people will not do what you ask them to do. But if you go in with a group of 3 people that you know, then you're going to have nothing but fun on this game mode. It is. I mean, my initial reaction was I gave it 4 out of 10, and that was just based on what I could see because it did look very much like it was going to be in the same properties and along the same lines as Survival from Modern Warfare 3, but with aliens. And although it kind of technically is, it also is like shares a lot of zombies features too, which make it like a cross between Survival and zombies. It's like a tough one to explain. It is difficult to explain, but it shares the same addictive properties. It also shares the same feel as zombies. I mean, it looks like zombies. The characters move like zombies. They act like zombies. In the spawn, when you first spawn in and you've got to destroy the first hive, rather than use your handgun ammo, it's better to
Okay.
melee attack the zombies. You know, you don't knife them, you punch them, but two punches kills an alien.
Okay.
So
Now,
it's
this
like
so you were saying that if you turned around, you're screwed. But so there's no way of really creating like uh, momentarily distracting, like say somebody needs to go to the restroom type thing, like with a crawler and zombies.
no,
Is there a way
no.
to create that within aliens, or is it just you
Mm,
gotta hope that you don't have anything come up?
you can have one person run around with a couple of aliens, but what happens is the aliens just spawn continuously. There's no, I mean, there is
So there's no rounds basically.
no, there's absolutely no rounds or waves or any.
So it's not like what people were saying with MW3, where it's just going to be an exact replica of their survival mode.
No,
It's
it's
just
not. It's
continuation.
not. Yeah, it's like there is 2 points in the first map, which is point of contact, where you do have a period where you could potentially have someone run to the bathroom very, very quickly. What happens is once you have destroyed all the hives in an area, the next area that you have to clear cannot be cleared with a drill, and it requires a helicopter to come in and clear the debris. What happens is the helicopter will try and shoot at the debris, and it's only really I mean, you could technically shoot along with the helicopter and try and clear debris faster, but there's such an influx of aliens that come in at this point that it's too difficult to not concentrate on shooting them. So what happens is when you first get through the first debris and you have to deal with the debris around the motel, you still are only dealing with the standard aliens, just the normal ones that come at you.
Okay.
Technically, you're capable of training them up if you want, doing as you wish, but it's actually easier to just stand and fight. But once you get to the debris that requires the helicopter to destroy it, you have a new alien that comes into play called the Scorpion. And what the Scorpion is an alien with a yellow or red glowing back, but they shoot acid from their tail, pretty much like a scorpion brings its tail
Does he
up.
look like he has a gun? Because I think I have a pretty good image
It's
of him.
not a gun, but it's like it's their tail as their weapon. They fire acid out,
Okay.
and what they do is they go to higher up spots where it becomes more difficult for the players to kill them. And what you have to do is focus purely on them and not on the other aliens running about because they're aiming for the helicopter. They're not interested in you. And every time they hit the helicopter, if they hit it enough times, the helicopter will go away and then come back. And while
So
it's
what
away
is the
from you, they're
helicopter
shooting.
supply as to the players? How important is the
Well,
helicopter?
what the helicopter does is the helicopter just comes in to clear the debris that the drill cannot, and you have to basically protect the helicopter while the helicopter's destroying, that particular hive.
Okay.
So what will happen is the only ones that attack the helicopter are the scorpions that shoot acid, and you have to take out the scorpions. The more scorpions you take out faster, the quicker the debris will clear.
Okay.
But if you don't concentrate on the scorpions and just concentrate on normal aliens, you could be on that step for well over an hour, before it will clear. You have to take the scorpions out. Now, along the way, you have things that will help you out. Like, for example, in the motel car lot, you have electric fence going around it. It's just like a standard fence that goes around the car park, but there's generators beside it, and you can turn them on. You can then place yourself inside the car lot, defending the drill while the aliens come up. Any aliens that hit
Okay.
the fence will die. There's also turrets all around the map. Turrets up on the top landing of the motel that you can have a person placed on. They can deal with any that manage to make it through the fence. Once you're up at the debris with the helicopter, you have an oil barrel that you can turn on and it creates a fire trap.
Okay.
Stops the smaller aliens coming through towards the hive, which allows you time to concentrate on the scorpions. If you clear the scorpions and the debris gets cleared, you then make your way through the motel towards a small town. Every time you do the big debris, the helicopter will drop an ammo crate.
Okay.
Not an ammo crate, sorry, a money crate, and you will get 3,000 points or
Oh
three
wow.
thousand dollars from each crate.
So is
The
money
most
very scarce in this game or game mode?
well,
Is it very
they've
scarce?
made
Is it
it.
very easy? Do you get points based on every kill? Based
It is
on
relative. Yes, it is
bolt?
the same as zombies. You'll get points based on kills. You'll get more points for killing with knifing as opposed to shooting. You get more points with using a handgun than opposed to like an assault rifle.
Okay.
But like they've made it a very unselfish play. So the most amount of points you can have at any one time is 6,000. $6,000 is the most you can have. You cannot carry any more than that.
All right. What
If
about
you've
as
got
far
five thousand
as
five hundred ninety-five dollars and you find $1,000, it will only top you up to 6,000.
What about
So
as
it's limits.
far
You
as
can't
like
have people being greedy and being point whores and money whores
so there's
or being
no
selfish.
really bank or anything to deposit the money like
There
in.
is a bank once you get through to the town. I wasn't going to reveal that because it's part of a mission. Once you get
Okay.
into the town.
Okay.
I won't mention anything else about the bank other than the fact that the bank can hold a maximum of $6,000 too,
Okay.
and the bank is required
So
for.
it's really a good team gearing thing. So if somebody
Well, you
becomes
cannot
selfish,
be
you're not going to
selfish.
progress
You
anyway.
cannot. If someone runs about on their own and tries to do it all on their own while being in a cooperative game, they will die. They will die. There's nothing they can do because once a person is on their own, the aliens almost split into a 50-50 group where the 50% will follow that one person, the other 50 will go to the three people.
Yeah.
That person will die. I mean, I
Now,
can't
how does it work
say
with that?
for
I noticed you
myself,
said
but so
deaths.
far it's been everybody I've played with who has went on their own has died. Everybody.
Okay. Now, as far as you're saying the deaths, we'll go ahead and conclude on how this works out with the death system and everything. How does it work as far as like deaths? If somebody goes ahead and dies, is there like a downing system like in zombies,
Yes.
or is it a you have to pick them up type thing? Like, is there? Okay, I'm gonna
Right.
have
It's
multiple
it's
questions with it.
actually it's actually much better than zombies and is much less likely to cause rage quitting in zombies because what happens is a player will go down and it will come up saying revive. Now, you can have a player being specifically selected as being a medic, which means that if they choose the um, medical perks to make themselves a medic, then they can revive people faster, as if
Then
they've
a
got
normal
quick
person.
revive. Now, if you revive someone, they come back full health, everything. You don't get perks. There's no juggernaut. There's
Yeah,
nothing
of
like that.
course. That's zombies
You
traits.
have the ability to take maybe say 10 hits from an alien before you die, and when they come back, they have the full 10 hits back again. They
Okay.
have their weapons, everything's still there. They lose
Even if
nothing.
they die out for, and
If
it's
they
not, it's
bleed
not.
out,
Now the thing
if
is,
they bleed out,
if they bleed out, how do they come back into gameplay?
if they bleed out, the player leaves behind a set of dog tags. The dog tags will always be there, no matter what happens. Any other player in the game can then go up and revive that player at a cost. Now it's a very minimum cost; it's like $500, but the cost is um more than necessary. No one would not revive a player who had bled out because it's pretty much you need the player in the game. It's like
Yeah,
you cannot be this type of player who lets people bleed out and run yourself because you'll die. You know, I
you
have
need your teammates.
yeah, I have tried in games where I've not been able to recover teammates while not going and reviving them because I've been quite busy with a horde of zombies around me, or aliens, sorry. Um, I have, instead of reviving them, trying to carry on and clear a lot of the aliens away before going and bringing them back,
Okay.
and died. It's like, it's, you can go up and revive a teammate while getting hit by aliens and revive them more than enough time and have them up and you can leave before you will die. It's
Okay.
like there's no bleed out and then you come back in the next round. You bleed out, you leave dog tags, the player can then revive you at cost. There's no cost to revive a player who's downed, but if a player has bled out, then there is a cost. It's
Okay.
minimum. People will use it. It's like
Exactly. There's
there's
no
no
scene.
selfish play. I mean,
Now
what
there's
happens is
we're gonna go ahead and end it with a couple questions. As far as you can't run this in solo by yourself. It would be
you
almost
can you can, but when you play solo, you get the choice of solo or public. If you play solo, it's much easier, but it's still very difficult. As
yeah.
in, you only like when you
And
clear
you
the
said
first
that
debris and you go
yeah,
through, there's only two debris to clear instead of four.
yeah.
Four. And then when you make the next area, there's less aliens come at you. Still much more difficult than it is on co-op, but a lot less aliens come at you.
How is
So
a
it's like
competitive?
exhaust.
Is there a competitive aspect to this? With you know how since there's no rounds, is there really? Is it really?
There's leaderboards, but the leaderboards don't really reflect a competitive nature. So
It's more of
there's
a
not.
have fun type thing.
Yeah, it's very much like primarily focused on cooperative play. People that are selfish will not find the game fulfilling. If they're not willing to play as a team, then they'll fail at the game
Okay.
all the time. It's like It's a fantastic experience, but it only works if you play it as a team. For example, you can drop ammo, you can drop speed cola perks, you can drop perks that what will happen is when you throw the crate down, you automatically get the perk, and then your teammates can go up and take the perk too from the crate. And what will happen is when you go into an area where you're about to get swarmed by aliens, everybody will throw down crates to help each other out. If people
Okay.
don't throw down crates, people will die. If you be selfish, you won't make it to the next. You won't clear the
Yeah.
debris. And you won't make it to the next step. You have to work as a team, unless you play it on solo. And on solo, it's not like zombies where it's
So you're
easier.
saying you
It's
go in with
harder.
loadouts, you can drop. Each person has a specific thing they can do.
Specific perks, yeah, and you
They
can
can
drop
drop
them
for
down
other
to help each
players.
other out. One person can have like a vest that they can throw down. The people will take a vest. The other
Okay.
person can throw down like ammo. The
So
other
everybody
person
can
can throw down.
essentially have the same thing, but it's
Everybody
just
can have, but it's best not to. Yeah.
okay.
Like for example, right now I'm a medic because I know that any game I've went into, no one else has been the medic, and
Okay.
without me, the game's never really progressed very far. So it's like most people wouldn't want to be a medic, but it makes sense when you play the game that someone has to be the medic
Yeah.
because if they're not, then you will all die.
All right, so let's go ahead and end this on some final notes. Like I said to the viewers, we'd go ahead and have based on what I hear, it sounds like it's going to be a game on its own, and it's going to evolve over time, and it's going to be something that it'll definitely it'll bring in a new type of variety of people instead of zombies. It'll probably take a while for the zombie people to get convinced to come over, but I think I'm pretty well convinced, and I'm gonna have to reevaluate, but not based on my experience, just based on what I've heard from actual you playing it. I originally rated it at a 6 out of 10. I'm going to raise it up to about a 7.5 out of 10 just until I actually have physical hands on the game itself. Based on your replay, actually, of getting time to have hands on with the game, how do you think the Extinction mode will fare, and what is your overall rating for it?
Well, I think that most of the zombie community will embrace it because it does share a very similar aspect to zombies. And as for my initial rating of 4 out of 10, I'm going to have to change that to 10 out of 10.
Okay. Just because of the experience you've had with it? It's
Well,
brilliant?
from what I've played of it so far, it's better than Black Ops 2 Zombies, but it's not better than Black Ops 1 Zombies.
Okay.
But Black Ops 1 Zombies
So
I
you're
would
saying
give
this
11
can
out of
evolve
10
into
anyway.
something really big?
It will evolve into something big. It will also be what zombie players will turn to during off season.
Oh,
I would be very, very, very surprised if people didn't embrace it. It's so much. It takes all the things that made Black Ops 2 Zombies bad, like selfish play, leaderboards, ranking systems.
yeah.
None of these things feature here. You have to work as a team or you cannot progress.
Okay.
And for that reason alone, the fact that it may, I mean, you will still get rage quitters in lobbies, but the fact that most people who really want to play the game will play as a team means that it
Okay.
surely has to succeed.
So, final notes for the viewers on the overall feel of it. Give your final thoughts on it really quick, and then we'll conclude on how these people can contact you if they have any more questions as far as getting more info on the game. You'd be willing to answer questions is the first
Yeah,
answer.
yep,
Give them
no problem.
contact information for them to contact you, and then end on some final thoughts. And then we will conclude this video on our Call of Duty Extinction mode breakdown. I really do hope this video is helping you out. So go ahead and conclude on your final notes, and we'll end this video.
Well, final thoughts on the game is that people do need to give it time. Initial impressions, first couple of games, I wasn't completely impressed because I wasn't really sure what was going on. Didn't like the fact that there wasn't enough similarities to zombies. But if you progress through the first couple of steps or first couple of areas, the
Okay.
game reveals itself and you get to see all the features that are like zombies but executed in a different way. So yeah, initial impressions is I think everyone will love it. Give it a chance. Work as a team. Try and use a microphone because it's kind of imperative. And yeah, just try and enjoy it. It's a really amazing game mode. Totally not what I expected it to be. Much better. Um, and yeah, pretty much love it.
All
I'm
right.
addicted to
The
it already.
game launches out on what is it? November 5th, correct? It
Yes,
launches here in
on
2 days.
Tuesday.
On
Yes.
Tuesday, so 11/5/2013, the game will be available for purchase. Go to your local game retailer, GameStop, and pre-order it so you can go to midnight release and be one of the first people to play it. We'll also be bringing exclusive content for this Extinction mode as soon as I actually complete the campaign and be able to do it myself. So me and Death and a couple of our guys will bring you guys exclusive content and actually show you physical in-game how what's the best strategy for getting set up and everything that you need to know for Extinction mode. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Make sure to like, rate, or subscribe. And, of course, Death, go ahead and provide your details for them to contact you if they have any questions.
Yep, you can hit me up on Twitter. It's DeathbringersN. You can also usually find me around the Activision forum, CODZ forum, UGX forum, TGM forum. Or if you need to hit me on Facebook, hit me up on Twitter first, and then I'll consider adding you on Facebook.
Yeah,
But yeah,
gotta get stalkers.
anytime anybody has any questions regarding the game mode, feel free to hit me up. I'm more than happy to answer any, or even to help you out when you get the game and show you the ropes.
Again, guys, if you enjoyed today's video, please make sure to let us know how it felt. And, of course, props to you if you've sat through this whole thing and you're just as thrilled as me. We'll all be ready to play this on 11/5, which is this coming Tuesday. I'll be getting it at midnight release. Thanks again, Mr. Death, for bringing
problem.
it. Again, the videos might not be out right away for you guys because I'm going to be like exorbitant myself. So as soon as I am ready to post videos, they will be up. Also, hope you guys are liking our custom zombie series. More videos to come for that soon. All right, thanks for watching.